everybody, welcome back. It's Swine Sierra. We're gonna play Plant vs. Zombies, episode 20, the ultimate part.
Yeah, ultimate part.
Yo, read me some Am I the Asshole posts, right? That's what people like. I think I've actually noticed that we're getting more reviews on Am I the Asshole posts.
Well, alright, while I pull up Reddit, that I might hit a few different, Am I Asshole, things on here. How has been your afternoon?
It's been very good. I've been doing a lot of reading and doing a lot of eating. A lot of... Dude, you ever, like, have sharp cheddar, and then you dip it in blue cheese? It's like cheese and cheese.
Ooh, yes. As you well, no, I mean, I I love cheese.
Yeah.
Well, here's also something, let me see. I have so, here we go. I'm trying to get, the recipe that I want to do for this weekend.
Cut sugar Duncan!
As well. But,
sugar Duncan! Anyway.
Alright, so, Jesus Christ. So, sorry, I just finished watching an hour and like 23-minute, documentary on the, it's called, Gaza Fight for Freedom, and it was it was actually made in 2019. And when you look at the videos, Reddit's loading right now. When you look at the video, actually, it was suppressed even then. Like, there's comments from, like, 2 years ago, being like, hey, you have to actually, like, actively search for it, because it won't show up the first time when you search. So you have to scroll. And it's interesting when you watch it, because, you know, you look at everything right now, it's like there's barely any buildings. But in the documentary, there are still buildings.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And there's still a little bit of buildings, and it's very interesting to watch, because one part really aggravated me, in terms of the Israeli, soldiers, is one of them, like, did a thumbs up and smiled, because they were being, you know, it was like a little shot of them, and I was like, what are you smiling about?
Damn.
You leave? But, so, and we will talk about that more later, but...
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that shot was made to have them look bad, you know?
Well, it was so, like, it was so irritating, because I'm like, she's talking about, you know, because it's a amazing documentarian, Abby Martin, and she talks about the history, so she goes into, like, before she gets into the, I mean, it's sprinkled in with a modern look of it, but
my phone needs to be charged!
Oh no.
Anyway,
it talks about the Nakba. It talks about, you know, how actually what's interesting, and no one's talking about this on the Israeli side, is when the international, so there was like a paramilitary that had come in 1946, and they were Zionists. Palestinians actually hid them from international authorities. And then 1 year later, the Nakba happened. And when that happened, the UN said, hey, cut that shit out. You can't do that. And they have to return. They're like, you better let them return back to Jerusalem. Like, you better you cannot force them into a strip. You have to let them return. So ever since then, Israel has been in violation of a UN international law. Because the UN back then was like, hey, you can't do this. Like, we just went over it. We just went through this. did you not remember?
Yeah, dude, what if Israel made an Am I the Ass? Israel's a colonized state! Anyway, hey everybody, I'm just kidding. That was a little bit of a meme there. A little bit of a meme from Smalls Noodle. So, she paid me a lot of kisses and hugs to say that. This is gonna be the weirdest episode of Plants vs. Zombies. Welcome back to Plants vs. Zombies! So you were telling me about your documentary, and you were saying that you watched your podcast at Read Am I the Asshole on Reddit?
Yes. Yes. So I have one. Okay, so this is from, because I want to make sure we source it. So this is from the Two Takes subreddit. It has been cross-posted onto Reddit on Wiki, which is amazing because two of my fandoms are they're together. Ooh, that's a very interesting ribeye.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted.
Looking at ribeyes?
Yeah, you're.
Anyway, quickly re-give your opinion on the Israel-Palestine conflict or whatever, because yeah.
Okay, so quickly to finish my thought from before. Basically, I think it's interesting because I think we're seeing, at least in America, anyways, I think we are seeing kind of a similar rhetoric that happened with supporting Black Lives Matter and ending police brutality. And ending gun violence, and I think that is happening, but it is happening overseas, and it's very interesting in terms of that. I mean, I could go on all day, and I will at some point in another video, but like it's very interesting. I mean, and
I'm just over here shooting zombies.
You're shooting zombies. I mean, I like to make
I'm shooting ropes into the cantaloupe at the fruit section of Walmart.
Saying that I was not here in America when a certain plane hit a thing.
Yeah, you were in the country that planned it, so we're keeping our tabs on you.
I mean, the government probably is, because I've lived in Saudi Arabia and I've lived in Qatar.
Yeah.
It's funny because the moment we got in Qatar, my mom switched out our phones because she said that the U.S. government is going to be listening in on your phone all the time to hear if a bomb and to hear someone speaking in Arabic. And so she switched out her phones and got phones from Qatar for that exact reason. And I'm like, if the government...
Yeah. That's crazy.
I was just saying,
I'm looking at Am I the Asshole's top post right now, and it's literally another fucking wedding story! Why are there so many wedding stories?
Here's the deal. We're gonna start with the co-worker one. So as I said previously,
the
and we'll talk about Gaza later on. But as I said,
for invading Palestine?
It's from the Two Hot Take subreddit, but it is cross-posted on Reddit on Wiki.
Oh, okay, well then here, let me try to find this. I want to have it on my phone too.
Alright, hold on, I'll send it to you in Messenger. Give me a second.
Oh, okay, do that.
Alright,
I love how I'm an r/learn programming, and the trending post right now is, why are some programmers so arrogant and mean?
Because they don't get laid.
That was literally the top comment. The top comment said it's because they don't have anything else to offer other than programming in life.
Yes, because they don't get laid and then they get mad at everyone else. Also, your second birthday gift came in today.
Ooh.
Just in time. It's a secret.
We'll see about that.
It's embroidered, but it's a secret. Alright. So, do you have it open?
So, Google does this dumb thing now, where, like, you have to, like... Oh, I'm not updating Reddit, fuck that, hang on. Update Reddit? No! Okay. Go back, okay. Ooh. Oh, were you trying to eat my bones? Trying to jump my bones and make me scream. Go ahead and start reading the status. I'm having malfunction over here.
Alright. Possibly.
Am I the asshole for telling my husband's coworker to stop coddling him by making him lunch for work?
And so these are the screenshots.
It's your husband's coworker? Is it a girl? Is it also a lady?
It's probably a lady, because usually that's how these things go.
Yeah, very much so.
So, here we go. So, I acknowledge that my husband works a physically intensive job and very long hours, typically 60 to 65 per week on a slow week. Okay, that sounds like a lot. Why is he doing that?
Because he's cheating on you,
he's cheating. I appreciate how hard he works so I can be at home. Oh, okay, so he works so much so that she can be a stay-at-home after school and during their time off. With that out of the way, on to the issue. He says he really has time or energy to pack his own lunch for the day. Oftentimes, he falls asleep after getting home and spending time with the kids. And this is also, he does do the rest of his shared housework. So before people jump on him, he is doing, that part at least. He is being a good husband and father. In the mornings, he takes care of dogs and some smaller household things before going to work. He usually asks me to help him by packing a lunch. And sometimes I would, but otherwise I tell him he needs to manage his time better by multitasking or waking up earlier because he's a grown man and can pack his own lunch. I mean, that is true.
Yeah, I mean, if I was him, I would get into, really simple lunches or whatever, that always could, be really tasty. Like, for a while I was doing Uncrustables, and these, Philadelphia, cheese dips where it was, it was cold, but it was spicy. It was, sour cream jalapeno and pretzel dips and peanut butter and jelly. That shit rocked, dude. That shit was always hitting the spot.
Well, and my thing is we have so many meal kits, we have Blue Chef, we have HelloFresh, we have Factor, and it's he could get one of those, cook them before he goes to bed, put them in a Tupperware, and then have it to where he can, the next day. So, I feel like he just wants her to kind of cook it because he's like, well, you're the stay-at-home. I kind of feel like there's a bit of a misogyny on his part in that aspect. Because I don't think he views her work as real work. I've noticed for the past several months, he doesn't always take his lunch bag with him.
At the unpaid labor.
The unpaid. The other day, I got curious how much he was spending weekly on eating out. Checking our account, I saw that every week he takes out or transfers $45, but known unknown restaurant charges. I'm trying to jump on this goddamn branch.
Is he... What are you playing? Just in real life. I'm trying to climb a tree that fell in my front yard.
I'm just recording the aim of the asshole while I try not to get eaten by the spider that's in my front yard.
Yeah, right.
It is the biggest orb weaver, by the way, that I've ever seen in my life.
Delicious.
Okay, so transfer to, but not to any unknown, but to no unknown restaurant charges. Considering current prices, I asked him where he's eating that $45 is lasting him all week, because I'd like to see what they got. I mean, I would be curious too if you were getting something that's this is $45 for 12 things to eat. I'd be like, no way, what? What? This is crazy. So that's when he told me that he's not eating anywhere. He and a few of his coworkers give money to another coworker, and then his wife either packs breakfast or lunches for anyone pitching in, or drops food off at the job site. I assume he's in construction. just because of job site, but that's just
Yeah, job site is yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why he said labor. I told him that she's not their servant, and that he needs to knock it off. Which, I mean, I don't know, like, if you're paying me, I don't mind cooking an extra, like, thing of mac and cheese. You know, like, it's $45. Okay, thank you for the phone, and told his coworkers to stop giving him lunches and to be better to his wife. I don't like that. Okay. And yeah, I don't know. Like, she had me. She kind of had me. I was like, okay, makes sense. Alright. And then she was like, and then I told I'm like, nope. No. No, you don't need to use that phone call for that. Oh, I don't like that. Like, you have grievances. You talk to the husband, and then you talk to the coworker, and then you talk to them together. I don't like her doing that with the phone. Because not even that, they were talking about a job, so it was a professional phone call. Why are you, you know, like, if you were talking to a publicist, and I just go, hey, stop talking to him after 5. It's like, what is this? You know, like, I don't know, that irritates me to no end. I don't like it.
Oh, interesting. I don't even know where we were on the story. Are we on the second page yet?
Yeah, we're almost, and that they're, all he was doing was coddling my husband and the others, and that they're adults. If they're worried about lunchtime, they take care of it themselves instead of depending it on someone else. I do want to say before I go on to the last of the second page, if you've never been a delivery person, if it is not a clear house, if it is not a clear apartment, you get lost. It is very easy to get lost because people will put in wrong addresses and wrong areas, and then they're like, oh, well, you couldn't get to it? It's like, no, this is your job. What do you mean? Building number 3.
Yeah.
What? So I understand her grievances, but I'm at the same time, like, if you've never, like, done that, you don't know how frustrating that can be. In terms of that. So this
Which paragraph are you on?
I'm on the last one, but I thought the second picture would be more, and it's just a paragraph.
We argued about it and still haven't resolved the issue when he left for the job yesterday.
Yesterday afternoon, I dropped my kids off with my parents, and I was venting to them about it. Both of my parents told me that the easiest solution would be just to do it myself, or let him keep paying because it's one small thing to do to make his job easier, then reminded me about how they packed each other's lunches whenever one of them had to stay home with us while growing up. Am I the asshole? So, yeah, so on Reddit on Wiki, this is the first comment, is that doesn't sound like a servant to me. If she's getting paid $45 a week from several coworkers to make food, she's probably making a profit. OP is fine if he pays for a restaurant, but not fine if he pays for a work hug's wife to cook. Yeah, I think she's the asshole. I would say she's the asshole. Here's the deal. Like, he's not hurting anyone. Okay? Like, he's not hurting anyone, and he's basically, like, what, do you want him to, like, you know, like, I would be upset if he spent that on food, on a takeout. Like, you know, like, just, I don't know why she's mad when it's someone else cooking. That doesn't make sense to me, because if you're not willing to make it, you can't be upset where he's getting it.
Yo, I'd be saying, I personally don't see why it matters where he's getting his lunch from. This isn't any different than him spending $45 on fast food all week and or providing his own lunch based on OP standards. Sounds like he got food with better quality for a good price and didn't stress his wife out by asking her for lunch. Seems like OP's jealous. Yeah. Yep.
I think, you know, what's interesting is I think that he would, or she would be okay if it was the husband bringing it, or if the husband was going to a bar, or not a bar, but like a restaurant during lunch hour.
Yeah.
But the minute she heard wife, she, like, the alarm bells, like, rang in her head. And, you know, because normally when you hear these stories from several coworkers, she's making bank, she's making a profit. You know,
Yeah.
like, this isn't, oh, she wants to fuck your husband. This is, oh, this is a business now. You know, like,
Yeah.
and this is, I think it's like $45 a day for different people. That's a lot of money from several different others. You know, so it's, I think she is the asshole, and I think the green-eyed monster is coming out.
The green-eyed monster?
Yeah, they call jealousy the green-eyed monster. Have you ever heard
Oh, that makes so much sense. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, a lot of, you know, instead of just saying, oh, you're jealous, it's like, someone's green monster's coming out.
Figure it out yourself. He figures it out. No, not like that. That's one comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, good lord, man. This thing feels very trivial and silly to me, but it's clearly someone else's end to their marriage. Like,
Well, and it's, I don't know, like I want to say, as, like, you know, like, I wouldn't mind you, like, if this was us in this situation, I would ask, okay, is there any way to lower it? Like, what is the $45 for? You know, I'd be like, what is she buying with the materials? Because if she needs that $45, okay, no problem. Hand her the 45. But is it 45 as a set rate, or is it you're asking her to, like, cook filet mignons and mashed potatoes? Like, I want to know what is $45,000. You know, that would be the only thing I would, like, get a little bit brash on in terms of just the cost. Because I'd be like, alright, are you gonna pay me money for gas? But, other than that, like, if we couldn't, because also, what I think is also interesting and weird is that they haven't, she's like, I refuse to do it myself, he's a grown man. It's like, okay, then buy him meal tickets, or meal kits. There's Factor, there's fucking, HelloFresh, there's, I don't know, Epic Meals. You know, like, figure out something. You know, like,
yeah.
There's plenty of meal kits out there for you if you cannot, do it yourself, you know, like, that's something to me that is very, weird that...
Ooh, look at this story. This one's weird. Let's see. Hang on. Am I the asshole for laughing when my son came home from meeting his girlfriend's parents because he chose to behave like he does at home? And then, of course, the top comment, by the way, real quick, spoiler alert. I know you don't like to get to it right away, but I do. Not the asshole. How old is your son? Doesn't matter either way. There are times for this behavior. Dinner at a restaurant is not one of those times. Girlfriend did not overreact. Hopefully he learns a valuable lesson from this. Yeah, of incompatibility, because let my boy burp. No, but, I mean, you know, whatever. But, like, my son burps a lot while eating. I've tried to telling him multiple times that it is rude. I told him to slow down so he doesn't swallow air with his food. I told him that it is disgusting. My wife will instantly jump in to defend him. Okay, that's a weird one. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting, like, both parents to be a little parental, you know? She will say that's just the way he is and that it's not his fault. The thing is, he can control himself when I remind him. He just chooses not to. He just went on a date with his girlfriend last night, and she tore him a new asshole. It was his first time meeting her parents since they live in another city. They went out to a fancy restaurant. Yeah, oh, okay. They went out to a fancy restaurant. Let me explode these zombies real quick. Here we go. Alright. Went out to a fancy restaurant, and he burped all the way through supper. He came home almost in tears from her chewing him out for behavior like a jackass in front of her family. I heard him telling my wife about it, and I laughed. She asked what was so funny, and I reminded them both that I had tried dozens of times, um, let's see, and if not tried hundreds of times to teach him table manners, and he rejected them, and she protected him. I said that now he is a grown man and he had to learn the hard way. They both think she overreacted and that I'm the asshole for being amused by this experience. I love everyone in this situation right now. Y'all are so fucked. Like, um, so like, yeah, I mean, like, look, right? Okay. Obviously, like, we live in a world, for better or for worse, of like social norms and you know, etiquette, and like burping falls in the red bag and not the green bag, and you know, red bucket, not the blue bucket, and you know, obviously, like, so like, look, not everyone. To put it in a simpler way, not everyone is, you know, going to be preordained to like your burping. And you know, what sucks is like, you know, I wish things were communicated more in a more of a boundary negotiation kind of way, where it's all like, hey, don't burp around me because I don't like that, you know. But the reality is, of course, is like a lot of people, you know, communicate normatively, where they're like, hey, don't burp because that's disgusting, you know. And yeah, I mean, kid, obviously, I mean, hey, look, you know, I mean, you know, like, you have to understand, like, you know, and not to OP, but to his son. It's like, look, guy, look, young man, like, you know, if you want to continue on burping while eating, find a girl who does that and who's into that. And it's not her, it's not the girl that you just went on a date with, right? It is not her. And on the flip side, if you want girls like that, and if you want to be more accessible and you want to have more access to women, cut back on the burping. Easy, you know. And so the dad's in the right. OP's not the asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, my also thing is like, for me, in terms of here's the deal: you're in a fancy restaurant, all right? He is a grown man. He has to sit there and look around and go, okay, if we were at Outback, or if we were at McDonald's, or like, you know, like any other less formal restaurant, he could burp. It would be funny. You know, whatever, but you were in a restaurant that probably would kick you out for, like, you know, like, at that
What do they mean by fancy, like Olive Garden? Like,
well, I assume it's a high, you know, like melting pot. Like, if you burped at melting pot, like, it would be like, are you serious? You like,
I imagine, like, the waiter would come around and be like, hey, guys, we see you're enjoying the food here. We just ask that you quiet down for other guests, you know? Like,
yeah, like, and to get massively embarrassing, you know? And plus, like, with you, you know when and when not to burp. You know, like, you have that not social awareness, but, like, self-awareness. And
somehow.
Well, no, but, like, you know, there's people, whether neurodivergent or not, can also, like, read a room, depending on, you know, like, sometimes it has to be a learned skill. But, you know, if he's been telling his son, hey, you know, just, like, watch where you burp. You may not be in places where you can burp like that, so just be aware. And the mom has coddled, and the mom has said, but he can burp anywhere.
Which is so funny to me, because, like, I've always thought that, like, women were more in tune with, like, social norms, you know?
Well, it's not even social norms. I would say this is, like, decency, you know?
Well, that's what I mean. No, come on. That's dishonest. Like, of course it is social norm, right? Like, it is like, hey, this is the sort of understood presumptive etiquette that you know, behave a certain cotillion way when you're at a fancy restaurant, right? Like,
no, but also, I mean, if you want to classify it in a weird way as that, yes. But I view common decency as something that, like, you have been told time and time again to watch where you burp, because may not be. So you have been told that by your dad. Your girlfriend, this was important to her.
Yep.
And you decided that it was okay to burp and make an ass out of yourself and out of your girlfriend at a restaurant. At that point, it is no longer flying. You're not flying in the face of social norms. You're being an ass, you know. And then you're crying to your mom because your mom sat there and enabled this behavior to where it got to this point. So like,
yeah, I mean, look, it was important to the girlfriend that he not do that. His dad has told him before that some people won't appreciate that. He did it,
and
girlfriend
he
was a
did
force
it.
of nature on his ass. So yeah,
And so, and I believe in the story.
I mean, I understand that synopsis. Yeah.
Oh, but I believe also in the story, she was like, "Hey, can you not burp? Like this is, this is an important."
Oh, did she tell him like not to do that like prior to that? I
I'm
wouldn't doubt it.
pretty
I wouldn't
sure
doubt
she
it.
did. I'm pretty sure she did. I assume she did. If it's not in the post, or it might be in the post. I can't remember. But it's like, because then he goes and he cries to his mom, and it's so interesting because I feel like this is where a lot of incel behavior really like sprouts from, because they can go cry to the parent that like facilitates it. And so
Welcome back to the show.
you good over here?
Yeah, no, parents called me. I missed the call. I call back 3 times. They don't answer.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
By the way, I got some screenshots of Monkey Cat Luna.
Gen Xers are bad with technology, so they should just hurry up and get dementia already. Let's see.
I know, right? More dementia for the boomers. Let's go. I guarantee you, I'm on several like NSA things where like she keeps saying these things. We need to watch her. No, one of the things I think it's so interesting, is like, it's always interesting to see, like, the effects of coddling, and I don't mean coddling and what boomers say coddling is, because boomers identify coddling as basic attention, love. But I mean coddling in a way that will abnormally affect, because unfortunately we do have these social norms and these social things, and these stuff, and while I think burping is fine. I think if you do it in a funny way, I think it's also, you have to know your audience. Like,
see, that I'm bigger on that. I think that should be the takeaway, but that's obviously not your takeaway, and that's fine.
No.
Because I feel like he should absolutely, he's made his bed, he lies in it, right? Like, it's like, look, like, you burped, the family and the girl didn't like it to any stretch of the imagination, so it's like, all right, like, thanks for playing, get the heck out, Like, it should, that should be kind of what it is,
No, and I do think that. I'm just saying, in terms of, like, you wouldn't burp in front of my dad unless my dad had burped first, and my dad, as long as I've known him, has never burped.
Right,
so,
right.
Like, so it's like.
And here's the thing too. I'm assuming that it's like a full-on belch, because it's one thing to like, it's one thing to like, like put your hand over your mouth or kind of turn to the side and then say, "Excuse me," which is, I think, what most people do like a lot of the time, right? Most people actually do burp, but they're like, they go to the side, they cover their mouth, and then they go, "Oh, excuse me," right?
Yeah,
like, but I'm assuming he full-on is like ripping it, right?
Well, yeah, and I assume too that, like, usually people understand if it's uncontrollable, where you're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, like, I couldn't stop it," and people are like, "Okay, that's like whatever." But it's like, one of the things to me is like, I honestly, though he's not the asshole, I do think that the mom and the son are, because you have to know your audience, and if you are in a setting, and this is less, to me, that's why I keep saying not social normancy, because I'm kind of operating off of the know your audience thing.
Right.
If you're in a setting, right, that, like, you wouldn't belch in front of, like, William and Kate in the British royal family. You would sit there and go, "I'm so sorry, I need to go to the bathroom because I need to burp." Or you cover your, like, there are certain things where you have to know, and in terms of, like, know your audience. And if you're in a setting where you are meeting the parents for the first time, not like with my parents, because my parents are divorced, but you're meeting both parents at the exact same time, and it's a very new, it's a impression that may last. and you are going to a fancy setting, you are meeting the parents, and I'm assuming, and this is me assuming, right, that she had been like, hey, this is really important. Like, I need you to not do this. And he, because he's been, the mom has gone, don't listen to your idiot father. You can burp when you want. Looked at her and go, of course, honey, I won't burp. And then let out the loudest belch, like...
Right.
And at that, and then he goes and he cries. Because honestly, if I was the girlfriend, I would have been like, call your mom and ask her to pick you up. Because I need like a little room, and I might crash his car. Like, I might be so mad that, because it was like, he took a thing that was so important to her, and he demolished it by burping. And like,
yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, if it had been something important, really hurt the child, because like, you set your child up to fail.
I mean, you definitely have to, if you make your bed, you definitely have to lie in it. Like, if you're burping at this restaurant and the girl doesn't like it, nobody doesn't like it, then you have to be all like, alright, then, you have to fuck off, man. Like, that you obviously upset her boundaries, you upset her sensibilities, and their desires and wishes on how you should conduct yourself. Absolutely. You have to be all like, well, fuck, And like, yeah, it's sad and unfortunate, but you can't actually be super duper blindsided. Like, I'm assuming, like, he's saying, and you're thinking this too, right? Like, he's coming home and he's crying and stuff because he was so blindsided by that, and that his mom coddled him to put him in a position where he's blindsided.
Yeah.
And it's like, it should not be blindsiding. I agree, it should not be blindsiding, You shouldn't be so taken aback, like, oh no, they didn't like that I did that? Like, no, of course not, right? Like, yeah.
Of course not. And one of the things, too, is this is why I say, in terms of this coddling infuriates me to no end. Not the coddling that boomers think coddling is, because you set your child up to fail. And you set your child up to fail in areas where people do take social norms a lot more seriously than others. And people, instead of saying know your audience, they expect you to follow every social norm. I say know your audience and when to make jokes and when to not make jokes. But that's neither here nor there. But this is what happens when you coddle your kid like this. And this goes for, a lot of moms do this with their sons, where they're like, no, they don't have to do a dish, or they can be stinky. But they can't wash your undies and panties, daughter. You have to wash their dirt-ridden, like, smeared, poop-stained boxers. And they'll coddle their sons, and then their sons live on their own, and they go, Mommy, can you do my laundry? And it's like, you are a grown adult. You need to, like, learn how to do these things.
Yeah, I mean, men and women are socialized differently, that's true. Like, women are given much more, like, responsibility and adultification and parentification from a younger age than men are. That's true.
And then if the daughter's being coddled, the daughter is always an asshole. Like, I've never seen a story on Reddit where the daughter was coddled and was a good person. Like, if the daughter is coddled, she's allowed to be a mean girl. And she's allowed to be an asshole. And the mom goes, oh, well, she had childhood lymphoma. That's why she's so mean. Oh, she's a little ADHD, and that's why, and it's always like these excuses given. And it's like, I hate to say it, but you have to literally conduct yourself by knowing your audience. And if burping is not the setting, and it's not the right audience, it's downhill. It goes downhill so quickly. And the mom really coddled her son into not being able to exist outside of a frat movie in 2008. Like, that is where he is stuck. Emotionally and socially.
Am I the asshole for purposefully tripping over a suitcase and guilt tripping my husband? This is like already such a weird title. And that, like she's clearly begging the question. So am I the asshole for purposefully, in quotations, tripping over a suitcase and guilt tripping my husband? I, F32, ooh, she's like doing like an algebra equation, and currently 8 months pregnant with our first, and I am trying to do everything I can to make sure the house is ready. I'm gonna put this boy here. This started with a little spring cleaning jobs, but has developed into a full-blown deep cleaning of everything. Yeah, because then you get all germophobic because you're like, oh shit, I gotta be all nice and healthy for my child. One of the things I've decluttered recently was mine and my husband's M33 closet. I donated everything we don't wear and have folded and put away everything that we won't need during the winter. Some of this clothing has gone into a suitcase, which is currently sitting on our bedroom floor because it is too heavy for me to lift and put away. Alright. I have asked my husband, to please help me more than once, but he is always either too tired or finishing after work or says it slips his mind. All in all, the suitcase is currently looking like a permanent installation in our bedroom. He has at least shifted it out of the main walkway in the interim. In the interim? This person is like English. What is this? Last night I woke up to go to the bathroom and ended up tripping over the suitcase as I fumbled in the dark, which is like super annoying and bad. I do obviously know where it is after it has been there for so long, but I was half asleep and trying to avoid... always do this. Trying to avoid our sleeping pup. While the fall wasn't bad, I did wake up my husband in the process. How was it not bad if you woke him up? Is he a light sleeper? I guess that would be the only... Because I'm like a deep sleeper. If you're waking me up, you're being loud. He's probably a light sleeper. My husband was initially quite worried, especially since our midwife told us any fall needed a trip to the hospital, but once he realized it was because of the suitcase, he became quite upset. He said that there is no way... Oh, this is where shit gets crazy. I could have tripped with the suitcase unintentionally as he moved it out of the walkway, and I had done it to prove a point. He said that he could not believe it was done... He said he could not believe... Hold on. Woo! Let's pause that, baby girl! Let's see. He said that he could not believe I would have behaved so passive-aggressively and put our baby's life at risk rather than just asking him again, and that forgetting to move the case is not a crime. The more I tried to explain that I was trying to avoid waking him, and tripping over the dog, the more he said that these were just convenient excuses to make him look lazy and unhelpful around the house. He said I was punishing him for not getting to the suitcase sooner, and that if anything, I should have had a plan to deal with it from the beginning, as it was me who had wanted to sort out the closet in the first place. My husband was fired up again after I mentioned to the midwife this morning that I had tripped over her suitcase, and he said I could have just told her that I had fallen over the dog or my shoelaces. He said that he had made his feelings clear during the fight when we had our discussion, and I was rubbing salt in the wounds now. I spoke to my mom, F61, about it. Sounds like a fucking battleship coordinate. About it after we got back from the midwife because I wanted to vent, and she surprisingly took his side and said I was letting my emotions get the best of me. My mom said I should have been more graceful bringing it up in front of the midwife, although I will say that I never said anything about asking him to move it, and she said that the situation has probably made my husband feel quite bad about himself, which is why it has turned into such big drama. Let's see here. So, of course, top comment. Not the asshole. It sounds like he was being lazy about it, and now he's feeling guilty, so he's lashing out at you to compensate. How long has the suitcase been there? Suitcase has been there for 3 to 4 weeks. Alright, interesting.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah, so, like, I would love to know a bit more about the layout of their house, because, you know, I hate to sound like a we need more context devil's advocate, but, like, I mean, man, kinda. Like, because, I mean, is he really, like... Because, no, don't get me wrong, like, he does sound, like, really dramatic and pressed, but I have to wonder, I'm like, well, damn, like, what is possessing him? What does he think is possessing him in his mind that he's acting this way in terms of, like, because if he's leaving the suitcase in the room like that, I mean, like, I would want, believe me, I want him to move it too, but, like, why does he think then that his options are so limited? Like, do you guys not have, like, a downstairs, a guest room, like... Because, yeah, absolutely, that suitcase needs to go somewhere. I completely agree, it needs to go somewhere now. And it should have gone somewhere before because of this potential accident. So, and this fucking suitcase, by the way, it sounds cursed. Is there, like, a dead body in this thing? Like, why? This sounds evil. This sounds like a suitcase from hell.
Sure. Well, I assume, because, so it's been there for 3 to 4 weeks. I assume that he has had ample time to move it elsewhere, and is using the fact that, he was lazy. And, oh, well, it was your idea. And it's like, well, sir, you're not helping declutter the house for the baby. So, like, I don't know why you're upset. And so I do very much agree with the top comment where it sounds like he was lazy and that he felt guilty, and so now he's getting mad at you because he realizes that his action of being lazy could have resulted in a fall that hurt your kid. Because as you said, any fall you have to tell the midwife. And it sounds like, you know, he realized that, oh fuck, my laziness puts you and our child in danger. But instead of dealing with it in a healthy way, instead of being like, oh, you know what, that's on me. It's been 3 to 4 weeks. I should have fucking moved the suitcase. Don't worry about it. I'll move it right now, actually, while we're here. He blames her for it. And it's interesting how, like, because also, I'm sure he knows what it's like to go pee when you're barely awake. You're, like, you're not sitting there going, oh, yeah, you know, let me move, you know, this
chicken wings on my gonads. And medicated Gold Bond foot rub on my thighs. It, like, sizzles my balls. Hey everybody, welcome back to Plants vs. Zombies in 2023. The ultimate...
We have been interrupted twice.
Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to PVZ. And today's been an on and off kind of day. Where this is the same episode for you, but for us, it's not.
Can you keep interrupting us?
Exactly. So... Did you just want to hop back into reading Am I the Asshole posts, or...?
Oh, yeah, let me pull it up. So, have you heard about the thing with Jack Jones?
Oh, he got doxxed or something by some other YouTuber, streamer?
Yes, Sniper Wolf. She's actually, I think she got banned, or she got demonetized.
Oh, okay.
And she came out with an apology because she got demonetized.
Oh man, did she? So I'm assuming she did it maliciously.
Yeah, so I'm gonna.
Because I haven't actually seriously heard about the issue. I just have heard that she did that.
So an overview, because I'm gonna get into the this post I found that's juicy as fuck.
It's so juicy.
It's so juicy. So brief overview, is this, so Sniper Wolf, if no one is, familiar with Sniper Wolf, she actually is a content person on Twitch. She also does YouTube, but what she does is she does things that, if you remember the whole XQC drama with the reaction gate.
I don't. The guy who was caught looking at deepfakes of women? I don't know.
No. XQC is also another reaction. Does something similar to Sniper Wolf, where he watches things and doesn't react, leaves often, and doesn't make it fair use.
Okay.
What you're supposed to do when you react to content. That's, you know, like, that's the whole reason why Ethan has gone to trial several times because of it.
Right.
And so, like, so there's the whole thing with reaction gate and stuff like that. And I don't know how Sniper Wolf didn't catch strays in that because she does the exact same thing he does. But Jack Films, is a content creator I've watched on and off. He has been criticizing her because he made a parody account called Jack Films.
Oh yeah.
Sniper Wolf with 3 S's.
Oh yeah.
And so what he does is because she just stares at the screen and then goes, oh, so this video is about this, and then just stares and does like a she doesn't even really react to it. So
that doesn't seem, that obviously is very, like, womanly, I don't know, like, it's very much like, oh, I'll just sit here and be cute and make money.
Well, I mean, she's relying on Sim, so, yeah, I would kind of imagine that.
Yeah.
So, Jack created an account, and he criticizes the fact that her content is, like, one, it's a bad name for reactors. Because already people think reactors don't have actual, like, content. So, she's making a bad name for reactors, and he points that out. He also points out the fact that she never gives credit to the video she's reacting to.
Yeah.
And so what he'll do is he'll actually go and find the original video or the original source, and he puts it in the description, and he actually gives them credit so that they can have some revenue. Because she doesn't put them in the video, and she doesn't put their names, she just puts their content in there. And so she's like, he's harassing me. And I'm like, by making sure people get their, actually can live off of the content they make instead of you stealing it. Okay,
yeah, what?
Yeah. Like, apparently he's just harassing. And so what she did was I don't know where he lives. I think he lives in LA. But she posts this Instagram story. And she goes, should I go to Jack Film's house? He's only 5 minutes away from my shoot. Which I think she meant office.
Yeah, wait, shoot. Ooh, dun.
For my shoot. So I assume either she was recording a video, or it's actually like another work for her office.
She was recording a video, alright.
Video records his house. And as she's doing this, Jack Films is streaming. And all of a sudden, he starts getting floods of messages in his chat. And then his wife goes, have you seen her story? And he's like, no. And so he goes on his Instagram story, and he sees the first message. And he's like, no, it wouldn't be smart for you to come here. And then he sees the second message. And as soon as he sees the second message, the Twitch, like, it dies. Like, he cuts it off. He stops streaming. And he calls the police. And, hold on.
Jeez. It's actually so crazy to be like a big like streamer kind of person, because it seems like there's like a lot of ways in which litigiousness comes up. And I actually tried to make I was making a meme slideshow the other day on TikTok, and I now have a strike because it was like they had to delete it. Like I got auto deleted immediately or something, just off like the system.
Because it was like an mouse or something?
It was, I think I might have had like an AI meme in there, and they're like, you have to like mark if you're putting like AI memes in here, and I didn't like, I forgot if I had an AI meme in there or not, because I put in like, 20 to 30 like, like memes on my phone and stuff. So I was just like, I don't know, do I have an AI meme? I don't know. And then, yeah. And like, I tell you, it's so weird, because like, I remember, like, the old days and stuff on YouTube when, like, Ethan and H3 would, like, complain about that, and they'd be all like, man, I wish these social media sites were more transparent about what we were doing wrong, And it is bizarre how that just does not change. Like, these social media sites and big tech companies just want to be able to, like, have all punitivity and no due process, and that's obviously like bad and like bizarre, because it's just so anti it's so anti like due process and like negotiation. It's like, okay, here, like, what did I do that was so offensive so that I can know not to do it the next time, because it literally said like, reason community guidelines violation, read the community guidelines, and it's like, but this is a series, like, a community guidelines is a list of things. Which of the things on the list, Because I uploaded 20 to 30 memes, so I'm not going to be able to really pinpoint exactly where I went wrong, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's done that to me, and, it's also where, like, it's taken out sound out of my videos, because the sound got copyrighted. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? But no, so Jack Films calls the police, and then she posts on her story, with her sister, making fun of the panic that she just caused.
Oh, that's
because
not good.
she just doxed him. Um, and she goes, "We just wanted to talk," and it's like, you could have talked on Twitter, on Instagram. What do you mean? And then she further justified it by saying like, "Oh, well, it's easy if you look up his address." And I'm like, ma'am, you stalked him.
Yeah, no, I tell you, there's no one more private than someone who works with the public, you know? Yeah. Like entertainment celebrities and people like like public school teachers, it's like it is of their utmost importance to the world that they're building and the game that they're playing that they do not know, that other people do not know where they live, you know?
Well, because as we've seen with Jake Paul, you know, his content houses, people show up randomly, you know?
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
They come around your house, and you never know if you're gonna have a fan one day that, you know, is so obsessed with you that they try to kill you.
I would have a bunker.
And
I'm gonna build like an underground bunker. I'm gonna get like a big mansion and then like make like a huge ass basement. And that way when people dox me, I'll be all like, "Hey, Lamau, well, you know, good luck with that because I'm 300 feet underground."
Yeah.
Well, I thought you were just leaving me in silence. You're leaving me to rot in silence with my like insane machinations.
Oh my god. No, I'm trying to do this part of this game. I didn't know this was part of this game.
This is part of the game, no part of the game. What are you playing?
I'm playing night. Hey, like this is not cool. This is not like, cool at all. Why are we letting this woman get away? And a lot of people are saying because she brings money to the platform. And so, which is right because then YouTube teams were making fun of it.
Yeah.
Which I think is really, really bad because, like, come on, you know, this is like a really bad thing, and you're just going, haha, everyone, because then they put out a thing that was being like, we don't condone like either or, like they're both doing things that's wrong. And it's like, are you serious? This woman just like committed a felony. Like, what do you mean they're both doing something? Like, him saying, hey, you're not actually doing what like is considered fair use is not it's not, you know, like it's not something that's comparable. But she finally got demonetized, which is good. And hopefully she gets kicked off. But a lot of people are reacting and talking about it more.
And then we're gonna have 1,000,001 video essays being all like, the tragic downfall of Sniper Wolf. You know, I see it now. Oh, I see him now. Yeah.
I mean, there's already like a couple of them, but getting into there's a lot more people talking about the situation than essays, but I know essays are coming. Especially essays from people I like. But so here is a story.
Okay.
I need to press record again because I just want to say that this character is a real evil being, because that was a fucking hard thing to, because it was like 1, 2, 3 were the guitar things, and it wasn't like letters, and it was hard to do. And he just said, so you're not gonna play? I'm like, what do you mean? I tried. What are you talking about? Anyways, so this is from, read it on Wiki, and it is cross-posted from Relationship Advice. Now, this is a different subreddit called Relationship Advice, because the other one got kicked off the platform, because I tried to read something on it, and then it said the subreddit got booted.
What? What subreddit was it?
It was one of the relationship advice ones. So this is I assume a new one. So
Right.
24F, allegedly cheated on my boyfriend, 23M.
Allegedly cheated on my boyfriend. Uh-oh, we got hot people posting an Am I Ugly?
Ooh.
Anyway.
By assuming the relationship was over. How can I fix it? Hi guys. So basically, it's as it says in the title. I was together with Derek, 23M, for a year. We always went out to parties, clubs, drinking, and all those things. At some point, I don't know, I just grew tired of the whole party scene and other stuff at the same time. I will admit it was partially due to my father constantly in my ear about me taking my life seriously. So yeah, I quit that lifestyle and went to college on my parents' dime. Derek did not like that. Suddenly, you're not the same person. And suddenly, you think you're better than us. Come on, babe. Screw that. Let's go out constantly.
I hope he doesn't throw out an ice ball.
This person is like on 5G and barely any battery taking these screenshots.
Yo, it's always the low battery screenshots, bro. There needs to be a subreddit that's like r/low battery screenshot moment.
Honestly, it's like barely there. So they're like giving us their full attention for this. Soon enough, we no longer went on dates. And he no longer invited me anywhere because I had a morality stick up my butt. Because I had a morality stick up my butt that's constantly judging them. Ignoring me. Until it was 3 months since I even saw him. I just assumed that meant we were over, which I think is valid. Like, he stopped visiting her, he stopped talking to her. Like, I would assume that means it's over. I feel like a lot of people would. So yeah, I met a cute guy, and a few weeks later, that asked me out on a date, and I said yes. We've been together for 2 months now. So, a few days ago, Derek shows up at my apartment. Out of fucking nowhere. That's fucking concerning. That's concerning, everyone. Should probably,
someone shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah, we should probably fucking...
Ready to do the do-si-do.
Apparently. And starts berating and insulting me. Saying a friend saw me with another guy and showing me pics of us kissing. Who? Why would you take pictures like that? Like, you guys are friends. Do you not know he's not speaking to this girl? Like, that's
weird.
Fucking weird. It was a nasty argument before he left. He left and blacked me on Facebook and Insta for being a cheating bitch and more.
Aww.
I felt I didn't do anything wrong until a friend of mine pointed out that it was my own fault for assuming things. Oh boy. Gave me the whole ass plus you plus me speech about assuming things. Keep in mind that Derek and I haven't even spoken in over 5 months. How are they still together if they, they haven't spoken in 5 months.
Yeah.
Not even over 5 months. How?
No, get out of here, ice ball. Suck it!
Oh my god. That's so.
Uh-oh,
so
he's gonna hit me with that truck.
Who?
I'm playing the PvZ final boss. Oh, he's not throwing the truck, he's throwing the zombies that for some reason, like, shout like a cowboy shout, but steal your zombonis, steal your planties.
Mm.
Yeah.
Friends and others have started looking at me differently. I've never considered myself a cheater, but I guess I am. Current PF still hasn't ran off, but we still have to talk. How can I fix this? So there's an edit. Before you know, there's an edit. Thanks so much for the support, guys. I read most of the comments and truly am grateful. Some points I forgot to add. The lead up to no contest was basically me begging him to go out. Me visiting him, me planning things together. He never initiated anything. I carried the relationship and ran after him like a lost puppy until I got tired of doing all the work. So I decided if we were going to spend any more time together, he'd have to contact me for a change. Well, he didn't. And here we are. I didn't even block him or anything. He could have contacted me at any time. And to be honest, if I didn't meet my current BF, I probably would have taken him back. I was weak and blinded by what I thought was love and a bit of a pushover. I'm working on it. Anyways, getting back together with him is not happening. I'm happy with my current BF.
Gosh. Yeah! Got it, okay. Yeah, he's got to be doing the truck now. That's so weird, he keeps doing the pogo zombies. Bungee zombies.
That is weird. Which really upsets me, and not everyone's in the know thinking that. But you guys are really hoping me for my game plan. For now, I'll just secure my relationship with my current BF before I put out any fires. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff always just sounds like, and it sucks because, of course, like, you know, it's real, and there's all these feelings involved and stuff, and, you know, it's obviously egregious, you know, but, like, it is miscommunication, it is just, you know, people at kind of separate eras of their life, it is, you know, harsh lessons to learn, you know, like, it just feels like it's not frivolous, that it's not, you know, their feelings and stuff like that, but frivolous in, like, this is gonna be a thing that you just kind of have to, like, learn about and kind of have a better aperture on, you know?
Oh yeah.
Because it seems like there's just lots of, like, miscommunication going on. I mean, I don't know, would you say, like, there's miscommunication going on, you know?
Well, I would say miscommunication, yes, but also I have a. How are we still dating? You haven't seen me in over 5 months.
Yeah, the boyfriend. I mean, the boyfriend's weird, right? Is that the one? Because he's the one that got mad, right? About thinking that she cheated on him.
Yeah, that's the ex-boyfriend.
Right. Yes. The ex-boyfriend. Yeah.
And like, I think it'd be reasonable if you told anyone, been like, hey, so I tried, and then I waited for him to initiate, and then he didn't talk to me. And if they would be like, well, did you block him? And then she would go, no, I actually didn't block him. He could have contacted me on my number or Instagram, and he never chose to.
No, damn it! He's gonna hit me with that truck.
The relationship is over.
Con. Yeah.
And I feel like anyone who would like see that or hear that, feel like they would realize it. But I think she's got dumb people around her who think that. Also, why? I understand. Okay, get proof that they're cheating, but at the same time, like, do you just go around grocery stores or whatever and just like take pictures of you? Like, oh, they might be cheating. Take a pic.
I mean, I'm not that level of, like, cheat detective deranged yet, anyway.
Yeah, no. Like, why you take a picture and
got his ass! Happy Halloween!
And then not ask and be like, hey, like, I saw this person kissing, are you guys dating? And then maybe confront the girlfriend and be like, hey, so, like, did you just cheat on X? And she'd be like, no, I didn't cheat on X. He actually stopped talking to me and effectively broke up with me. But
Yeah.
like, everyone is. There's no one in this friend group that has a fucking brain, because you would ask both of them if that's the case. All right, here's a juicy one. Another juicy one. This is from Show Off My Chest from a year ago.
Uh-oh.
There's no update. And it's been a year, so.
Yeah. Well, guys, that's the main story, the main adventure of PVZ here. I'm gonna go ahead and, fart. Fart night.